So this video is going to be a little bit different than our typical vlog format. We're going to start off breaking down our first day at 1,000 Trails campground and give our initial review. And then we're going to continue on with our vlog style episodes where we travel to South Florida. So if you can care less about 1,000 Trails, then feel free to fast forward to the next part. All right, so we are now in Three Flags RV Resort in Wildwood, Florida. And this is our first ever 1,000 Trails campground. So we are not officially members yet, but we do plan on becoming members very soon. We wanted to give you our initial experience with 1,000 Trails, and hopefully as we go along our journey, we can tell you a little more about it. But we wanted to just get started here and let you know what we think so far. So Jen, can you go ahead and get us started?
Yeah, and I want to speak to you first why we haven't used it before now. 4.5, 5 months in, we heard about 1,000 Trails from the folks that we camped with in Moab in October, and they were like, everyone's all about it. And on our route that we took, there were no 1,000 Trails around. So they are concentrated in certain states more than others, and so there's a big hole in the middle of the country. It just did not make sense for us until now, because we're in Florida, and then we'll be in Texas early next year, so it started making sense for us. I want to say, first of all, I hate to just start out on a negative, but the way 1,000 Trails prices the memberships is so confusing. You have to do research, and even when I've seen it broken down, it still confuses me. I don't know if you want to speak to that at all.
I think it is very confusing. They have the main membership, and then they have the resort add-on, and they have a couple other things too.
It's nuts.
and then on top of that, they have different deals going on at different time periods. And then there's like how long you can stay, which I think for typical it's 14 days at a park, and then you have to take a week off. So just that's really confusing. And then I think there's other plans out there. If you bought it at the right time and you bought a lifetime plan, then you can stay 3 weeks, and it's just very, very, very confusing.
I guess I don't understand why it needs to be as confusing as it is. They could really just use some streamlining of prices, because that was a little bit of a barrier for me, just going like, what are we supposed to do here? So it's confusing. I think when we booked this campground, they got us in as guests, so we couldn't join 1,000 Trails. There was no room for members here. So that is honestly a little bit of a concern going forward. People tend to book really early, and we don't like to book that early, and I don't want to have to worry about booking. I don't know if that's the case. I'd be curious, if you are 1,000 Trails members, have you had problems getting into certain sites? Feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear from you about that. So we're here as guests, and what they're going to do for us is convert the money we paid toward the campground into a 1,000 Trails membership at the end of our stay.
And our plan at this moment is to simply get the regular 1,000 Trails pass, which I believe is $5.99 a year, and just follow the rules on that, and then learn from there. And if we decide that we want to upgrade or change things, then do so at that time period, which I assume we'll be able to do. They usually don't keep you from upgrading if you want to. So we just want to kind of get our feet wet and just learn about the program in general. So we're going to start off with the regular pass.
And we did look into the upgrade to the Trails collection, which I think is $2.99. Something like that. Okay. Because we're going down to Boca Raton in Florida, and there are campgrounds around. So we're thinking, okay, we'll just upgrade $2.99, and then we'll stay in one of these campgrounds. And then I started looking a little deeper, and the reviews were terrible. There were 3 that just the reviews, I think, were even less than 2 stars. So I'm sorry, I'm just not doing that. And then 2 of them, I think 1, you couldn't bring a dog, and then the other 2, your dog had to be below 40 pounds. Have you checked our dog? He's 100 pounds, so we couldn't bring him. And it just was like, that just doesn't even make sense. So we ended up saying it's just not worth it for us to upgrade. And even when we looked at the campgrounds in Texas, which we'll be utilizing in 2021, they're all just regular. So we can use those and just add a zone later. So,
jeez, Jen, why are we joining this thing?
Well, the Texas reviews are awesome. Like I went ahead and looked at some campgrounds in Texas, or 1,000 Trails, and the reviews were fantastic. But for us to upgrade almost $300 to stay in a really crappy campground, just not doing it. Didn't make sense, right? So I think all of this is like, does it make sense for you? For us, it made sense to do, like Steve said, the basic membership, and then when we go to Texas, we'll add on that zone, and then we'll check into capacity and if we can get in there. But I'd say overall, I mean, this campground is nice. You want to talk about the campground a little bit?
So first of all, when we thought about Thousand Trails to begin with, if you look at it financially and do the math, it's a no-brainer. $5.99 a year. We average about $40 to $50 a night, and we full-time RV. So it's like, why not? And the why not is these things that we're talking about. So we need to sort of start there. So financially, it makes total sense. And our first experience here at this campground, Three Flags RV Resort, has been really good. So part of it's just we're lucky we're in the front and we have no neighbors, which is pretty nice. The kids can spread out.
Well, we're lucky on that front, absolutely. We've had 2 neighbors our whole 9 days here, and they were here for one night on different nights. I always hear in campground reviews people complaining about the road noise, and there's a ton of road noise. It doesn't really bother us, but you can definitely hear it. Like, we can't record any videos outside because it is that loud, but it doesn't bother us. But if you're members, I think you're further into the park.
And the amenities seem good. They have a laundry facility, which we haven't used yet, but will be soon. They have a mini golf. They've got shuffleboard. They have a nice office up there. The staff is very friendly and very helpful. They have a dog park in the back. Just overall, it just seems well maintained, and everything just seems like, the hookups. That's always a big one for me. Where are the hookups? And because sometimes you get to campgrounds and the hookups will be way far away. You can't reach your sewer, and that's always kind of a pet peeve of mine. And then when you go to hook in your sewer, the threads just don't work at all. So you have to figure that out. But everything is really good with the hookups here. The sewer just hooked up easy. Water, electric, easy. So the site's level. And the sewer is not uphill from where we're at, which is good.
Always a plus. And just check the reviews. One of the folks who watched a video of ours, I think the last video, said that they're in their first Thousand Trails park, another place in Florida, and there's no sewer, but they come actually empty your sewer every week, which is nuts to me. I mean, awesome that they add that. So just check what they have. Check the reviews.
I read that too. It's cool from a black tank perspective, but I don't know what we do about our gray because we
couldn't last. No, absolutely not. That just wouldn't work for us. We're either going to boondock or we're going to go full hookups. But I'd say that this park is a solid 3, maybe a 3.5. As Ben says, it's no Glacier KOA, but I'd say it's a great park, able to walk. And the other thing that I was hoping to get, but we didn't, and it's not Thousand Trails' fault, there's no really other families here. So we were hoping our kids would be able to play with other kids, and there just hasn't been. It's I'd say largely a senior community, which has been great. Very nice. Everyone's been very nice to us. They enjoy the kids too. But
in general, though, we've heard that Thousand Trails is very family friendly, and there's lots of other full-timers in Thousand Trails. For example, full-time families, which we are a part of, they seem to prefer Thousand Trails. So I'm looking forward to seeing when we get into Texas if we run into more families, and I think that we will. That's one of the reasons I think why we're joining Thousand Trails.
Yeah, so we'd love to hear from you. Are you a Thousand Trails member? What has been your experience so far? And anything, add it in the comments.
In VIP and on the A-list, just fake IDs and kill the playlist. Well, I guess there's that. I guess we got that. Ain't got a Benz or Range Rover, but we got friends coming over. No, we ain't got much cash, but we can work with that. We don't need the things they say we need, 'cause tonight we're living out our dream. Oh, let's get this thing going. Say the word, I'm all in. Gotta know that we gotta be.
What do you think, Jen?
I'm pretty good. I've already got a couple things, and so I've got to pace myself. There's some good looking things here.
Got nothing but a lease with you. We got nothing but a lease. We're free.
Put a house on. Then I put a house on. You know what this one goes? To there. You know where this present goes? It's right there.
Some of you have asked, where does Stilton go when we get him in the truck? So we thought we'd show you our process for getting our old guy into the truck. All right, Stilton, let's go to the car. Come on, bud. All right, you ready, buddy? Oh, he's excited. Come on. All right, Steve, we may have to get him in. Oh, there he is.
Good job.
So that's where he sits in. We thought we'd record this video when our car wasn't as embarrassingly dirty. So there he is, and apparently Haley got hurt. So we're going to stay at a Harvest Host in Fort Pierce, Florida called Summer Crush Winery. Don't know too much about it. It's got good reviews, and I think there may be some music going on there this afternoon, which will be fun. Yeah. Anything else to add?
No, that's it. Let's get going.
All right, now Ben wants to say something. What do you need to say,
How
Ben?
far is this place?
We're about 2 hours and 45 minutes from the winery.
Yes, I think my lunch is gonna be good, like in the other video. Remember to leave a thumbs up if you think my lunch is good.
All right, we'll see you at the winery. All right, Steve, we're about to go through the toll plaza. I think I do have $1. We don't have a Sun Pass. I think we've only got $1 to our name. Do you have any cash?
Not to our name. We're good for it.
You think? Let's go see what. Here's the toll plaza. Let's see what the options are.
Yeah, we made 2 plazas.
Oh, is there cash lanes? Well, how much is it?
Normally, cash lanes.
There's cash lanes. Is it a credit card lane? I don't know. We're gonna see. I don't. How much is it? Here. Okay. Here's the prices. Let's see if we have enough. I hope I put the $1 in my wallet. Oh, $3.25. Let's see. We have no money. Change provided. We have no cash. Let's see how this goes. So, total newbie moment. First of all, we live in North Carolina, so we don't really have tolls, so we're just not used to them. We don't carry cash, which is a problem. We have cash in our rig, but not in our truck. And luckily, another newbie moment, we didn't realize, because we've never been through a toll with our rig, that it is extra money. So instead of the $3.25, we did scrounge up to get through the toll. It was actually $9.75 to bring our rig through this. So we have to go mail this in. Anything you want to add, Steve?
He did give a tip that he said that for all future ones, we can just roll right through the Sun Pass lanes, and they'll just get our license plate and bill us that way, so we don't have to stop. But yeah, it worked out fine. I thought it was a mail-in. I thought that's what happened when you didn't have enough money. And I was right.
Yes, because to avoid the tolls would have given an extra hour and a half on our drive, and we're not having that. All right, let's see this windshield wiper thing.
We can make the turns out.
Let's see if I can get it. What spray?
I'm not turn cars down.
Ah, scared me.
We're all set up at our Harvest Toast. About to go into the winery and have a tasting and have a good time.
Waiting in line, I was facing forward. No reason to think I'd find you.
How is it?
It tastes like wine.
Tastes like wine.
Tastes like coffee.
Why does it taste like coffee?
Why is it not taste like or white or anything?
That's right. I'll give you a sip of the red too. Think about this one.
Does it taste different?
Yeah, see? This one tastes like honey.
It really does.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, I like both of those.
I like that we be jamming.
Yeah, that's good.
Wandering lost, searching for your likeness, or maybe a look-alike with glimmers of your soul. What is the cost of chasing after true love, with only a shadow of a heart that's been made whole?
So we're just about to leave our Harvest Toast. It's Summer Crush Winery. I say we had a good time. We enjoyed the wine. We did a tasting, and then we sat outside and during the sunset and had a good time. Just enjoyed ourselves. Anything to add?
Just that there is a storm coming in. It's the cold front that's going to make it 60 degrees tomorrow in Florida, South Florida. And then there was one. We are the last Harvest Host member leaving today. I think there's 3 other ones out. And yeah, we got a short drive today, which is exciting. Less than 2 hours.
Yeah, we're heading to a campground in Lake Worth, Florida. We're going down here. We're going to visit my brother and my dad. My brother lives in Boynton Beach, and my dad lives in Coral Springs. So we'll be in that general South Florida area.
Yeah, and then at this county park that we're going to, they need our registration for our rig, which made us do some digging, go, where is it? So we've got that problem. Steve's got it almost figured out to make sure we have the registration.
I think a payment fell through the cracks or something, some sort of tax payment.
Whoopsie. We'll figure that out in the next 2 hours, but we will see you there.
The stars are all watching you, shining brighter than them somehow. Days have all faded, and there's no more waiting for this right now.
We're now tucked in nicely at our campsite here at John Princeton Park Campground, and this behind me is the view behind our RV. So we're enjoying it. It's a really nice park right here. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button, and if you haven't already done so, please hit subscribe. We will see you next week.